William Arthur Ward, one of America's most quoted writers of inspirational maxims, once said, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." Hello, my name is Malati, and this is my show titled The Impressive Empress, where we talk to women leaders, women who have had a humble beginning and have forged their way to leadership, a position to which they have been elevated thanks to their selfless efforts at making a positive difference to the world. I now welcome you all to meet our impressive empress for today. Our guest today is a very experienced teacher who holds double masters in economics and in Hindi, in addition to having a bachelor's in education. Having started her career as a teacher, she continues to teach even today, much beyond her retirement. I warmly invite you to join us in our quest to understand how Geetha has made herself the impressive empress. I'm so happy to welcome you, Geetha, to my show titled The Impressive Empress, where we talk to women leaders from various walks of life. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Malati. I am also equally excited. My name is Pennathur Geetha. I was born in Andhra Pradesh and had schooling in West Bengal because my father was working in Chittaranjan Locomotive Works. So up to 11th standard, I studied in Bengal. Then, because there was no college in Chittaranjan, I had to do my BA and MA as a private candidate. I joined BH from Banaras University. I did my BA and MA economics. Soon after BA, I got a job in Chittaranjan. So I worked there for 4.5 years. Then I got married and came to Chennai in 1971. Then there was a gap of 1 year because my daughter was born. When my daughter was 1 year old, I joined Sri Shankara Senior Secondary School in Adayar in Chennai. There I worked for 8 years. Then I switched over to PS Senior Secondary School. That was the school started by my forefathers. I worked there for about 12 years. Then I had to go to Bombay because my daughter joined MSc and she wanted to do PhD there. She refused to stay in the hostel, so I had to go and set up a family in Bombay. So I went to Bombay. There I worked in Gurukul Junior College and Ellen Mehta classes, where they conducted classes from IGNOU University for 10th and 12th. There I worked for 5 years. And then I came back to Chennai. 98, my daughter got married, and once again I joined Sri Shankara Senior Secondary School and worked there for 7 years. Then my son got married and got a baby boy. So he asked me to quit my job and become a caretaker for his son. So I resigned my job because I was promoted to the post of grandmother, and that is very, very important, and I also enjoyed. So I quit my job and came to Bangalore. And here I take tuitions, Hindi tuitions, because I don't want to give up teaching. Teaching is my passion. So I take tuitions. It's not for money, but just to keep myself engaged, as well as to be in touch with teaching and to be with the children. I love children, and when they are with me, I'm the happiest person.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Did you have any kind of influencer or did you have any role models? Because even to study in those days must have been not an easy task, especially as a woman.
Yeah. Actually, my father was my role model because my father was a shop superintendent in Chittaranjan Locomotive Works. There they had a training center, and there they used to give training to the diploma holders. And my father was teaching that. He offered honorary service, and he used to teach. And Saturday, Sundays, some children used to come to my father to learn, to clear some doubts and other things. And I was really surprised the way they praised my father. They said, he's so nice, he has taught us so many things, we are so happy. Then I used to decide, then I used to think, oh, how nice the teaching job is. That prompted me to take a teaching job. I said, I also will become a teacher like my father and earn a good name.
So what quality or what exactly impressed you?
First is patience. My father has patience, to listen to the children, understanding their problems, and then explaining it again and again and again. That was the most important quality. A teacher should be tolerant. And first of all, she has to come down to the level of the child, whichever class he may be. In the primary means you have to come down to that level. Then only the teaching will be successful. At any stage, we have to understand the child and we have to come down to their level. That is the most important thing for any teacher.
Very well said. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of patience, and even now at this age, you say you're very passionate about teaching, and you teach a few children in your neighborhood. So I mean, this is a program, this is a talk show about leadership, and I call them my impressive empress, because I feel as leaders and as women leaders, we are endowed with the emotional intelligence that comes naturally to a woman, provided she nurtures that. Can you talk a little bit? You did mention that one needs to be patient, one needs to have good listening skills as a teacher.
Yeah, correct.
Now, how does this change depending on whether you are a teacher in a primary class or a teacher in, for example, you have also taught in IGNOU in Mumbai, like means for the bachelor students or for the master students. So how do you adapt to these different levels of students?
Yeah. First of all, we have to find out what level the children are. The school children, you have to be very, very patient with them. And when you teach a lesson in the class, half of the class only will understand. We can't expect 100% to understand everything. So again, the same thing has to be repeated. And some children will be very poor. Poor children has to be encouraged. For example, I'm just giving one example. In my language class, I used to begin my class with reading and dictation. First, all the children have to read. Then I used to give 10 words, which are already told previous day. Those 10 words they have to prepare and come. Then I dictate those words. All the children will write. Once again, I dictate all the words so that if they want any correction, they can make. After that, I'll write the words on the blackboard and I tell them to correct by themselves. When I tell them to correct by themselves, they ask, shall I correct my notebook or shall I correct my next person's notebook? I said, no, you have to correct your own notebook. And I tell them, I know you are all good children and you are correcting your own notebook. So be honest and if I accept your mistake. And then I used to ask how many of you got 10 out of 10. Each word carried 1 mark. So some children will stand up. Then whole class will clap for them, only for 10 out of 10. Then 9, 8, like that. When I start asking, there may be some children who might have got even 1 and 2 also. Those who got 1 and 2, I used to call them. I said, I know that yesterday you didn't find time. That's why you couldn't read all the 10 words. Am I right? They say, yes, ma'am. I went out, I attended a marriage. Some reason they will say, it doesn't matter. Today you got 2, no? Tomorrow you try to get 3. Immediately the answer will be, no, ma'am, I'll try to get 4. I said, no, come slowly. You get 3, then 4. No, tomorrow I'll get 5. And you won't believe, next day they will definitely get 5. So like this, when we keep encouraging them, they learn. If I'm strict and scold them that why you got only 2 marks, all these things, it won't work. So I have to be patient with them, and then I have to encourage in such a way. I have to go in their own way. And before asking what is the reason why you didn't study, I should say, oh, I know yesterday you could study, no, that's why you didn't do well, no. That works as a magic. Within a month, whole class gets 10 out of 10.
Wow, that's very nice.
That is, so that is the best way to adopt the children. Whereas in higher class students, first of all, we have to tell them the method of preparing. We have to tell them the method of preparing, how they should prepare. That is, first of all, concentration. Sometimes they take a long time to prepare a small chapter. So I said that is not the proper way to prepare. And every subject is different. For example, language preparation is different, mathematics preparation is different, and history, geography subjects are all different. So I used to tell them what is the correct method of preparation, and they have to follow certain rules and regulations for preparing. And they have to always keep a notebook and keep on writing points. And during the exam, they can just read the points and go. They need not read the chapter on the day before the examination. So as soon as they read one lesson, they have to write just the points. 1, 2, 3, they can number and write the points. And before the exam, they can just revise the points. That's enough. So like that, I tell them, and they follow, and they generally get good marks. Once they come to the higher class, they become responsible. And another thing, one more important thing. First of all, whatever subject we teach, we have to create interest in that subject. Unless we create interest, children won't study at all. So first we have to create interest in that subject. For example, language generally nobody bothers. For them, language is something very easy, and they feel they should spend more time for subjects and less for language. So first of all, I have to create interest in language, especially those who are from non-Hindi speaking area. They don't want to learn Hindi at all. They say they feel it's very difficult to learn. So first of all, I have to create an interest in learning language. So I have to make the language lessons very, very interesting. So for them, I give a lot of quiz, puzzles, word building, like that. Different games I give them, and slowly I introduce new words. And once all these things are done, they develop the interest and they start studying. That is the secret. So I teach them, they just note down, and next day they come and ask. And mostly there won't be much questions, only 1 or 2 questions they will ask. And there they had 2 mediums. One is Hindi medium, other one was English medium. So some of the children said, "Ma'am, we want to have Hindi medium." Immediately I used to switch over to Hindi and teach them. They liked it very much, and they all came out with flying colors. Said they liked my teaching and they did their best. And because they were all elders and already they were working somewhere and then studying, I said, you have got a fire in you to study. That's why you are able to do that. Otherwise, once we start working, most of our time we devote only for the work. And we hardly find time to study unless the fire is very active. You can't do that. So when I congratulated, they felt very happy. Then I told the same thing happened in my life, because I also did lot of studies after I was late 30s and early 40s. I did my B.Ed, I did my Sahitya Ratna, I did my Hindi MA in Hindi. All the things I studied when my children were growing. They were going to school. You don't feel ashamed to say that you are learning, because for learning there is no age. Any age you can learn if you have got the fire in you. Even at this age, I am learning a lot. Almost every day I learn something or other. Not only in education, in other fields also. So learning is a lifelong process. So I congratulated them. I told them I'm very happy you are learning at this age. And so I told them just a little bit of extra effort will go a long way. And all were, since they were all grown up, they were all very responsible, and they responded very well, and they did excellently well. So I felt very happy in teaching them. So learning is a lifelong process. So I congratulated them. I told them I'm very happy you are learning at this age. And so I told them just a little bit of extra effort will go a long way. Be sincere in your work, and then make it a regular point to study. Not that one day you study and 10 days there is a gap. No, every day you have to study, then automatically it will register in your mind and you will remember things. And all were, since they were all grown up, they were all very responsible, and they responded very well, and they did excellently well. So I felt very happy in teaching them.
Motivating or recognition of one's effort works like a chocolate, one should say. It's very addictive, and I think you have used that really well. I just wanted to understand, what was your motivation? I see that you have a double MA in English and then MA in Hindi, and then you went on to do your B.Ed and M.Ed. So what motivated you to study, like you mentioned, even when you were in your 30s and 40s and you already had a family?
Actually, when I joined Shankara School, I joined, since I did the MA Economics, they gave me Social Studies and English. But I didn't do my B.Ed. So they couldn't give the proper scale for me. They couldn't fix the scale because I was not a B.Ed. Then the principal told me, since you know Hindi, why don't you take some Hindi classes so that I can list you in the language teacher. So I started taking Hindi. Already I did BA Hindi. I was eligible to teach up to 10th standard. Then I thought, since they have given me Hindi, I should do MA also, because I was very much interested in language. So I thought I'll do MA in Hindi. That's why I did my MA. It was not compulsory and it didn't add to any of my salary or anything. But of my just for sheer interest, I wanted to do MA.
As a teacher, what gives you maximum happiness, or when do you think you have done a good job?
It's a very good question. To tell you frankly, after retirement, so many children come and tell me that I have inspired them a lot, and they tell me, I feel this is the real success. Getting marks in the examination, there is a success. Of course, whenever the result came and my children did well in the subjects, I really felt happy, very happy that they have done well. Real happiness is after many years, when they grow up, when they take up a job, then they remember me and they come and tell me, ma'am, because of your inspiration only, all these things happened. I'm really grateful to you. That is the thing which I play, which I am the happiest person then. Once it so happened, in the reunion, one boy came and told me, ma'am, you have never taught me because my language was Tamil. I never studied Hindi. My language is Tamil. You never taught me, but I learnt a lot of disciplinary things from you. To be punctual, because I was in charge of discipline. I have to check whether children are coming on time, whether they are wearing proper uniform, shoes and all. And if they don't, I have to collect a fine of 25 paise, like that. Children come late, I used to ask them, why are you late? They say, I have about 25 paise. I said, it is not for collecting money. It is not a fundraising thing. We are charging 25 paise as a punishment. And then I said, you make it a point not to repeat it. And I used to ask them, what is the reason why you are coming late? And you won't believe, I discovered there is so many problems which children face. Some of them will say, I don't have mother, my father cooks, so he cooks late and gives me. Some say, today my father and mother, they were fighting, so they couldn't cook. We have to go to the hotel and get some lunch for me, that's why I was delayed. Like that, there were so many reasons. I really felt very bad for those children where they didn't have proper family background. Both father and mother took care of them. So slowly I used to tell children that how they have to get up early, finish all their work, be punctual, because this will go a long way throughout their life. It will continue. If they learn punctuality at an early age, that will help them throughout. Sometimes if my own daughter and son will say, Amma, you are a Hitler. I say, yes, I have to be a Hitler sometimes if you don't listen. Like that, so I used to tell them.
But you were a Hitler at home and kindness personified at school, or were you also strict at school?
No. I was Hitler only once or twice. Not always. When a thing has to be done and they are not doing it, then I have to show a little bit of Hitlership in that. Otherwise, no. Actually, I'm a very kind person. I never scold the children. I just tell them, I'm going to scold, I'm going to punish you, but I never punished. Actually, the more than the punishment, the fear of punishment is more. So I use that. I will, tomorrow I'm going to punish you. See, today is the last day. Tomorrow I'm going to punish you. But that tomorrow never came.
I mean, can you tell me about the days when you were working for PS Senior Secondary School? So can you tell me something about how the school was started and what your role was there?
The school was started by Mr. P.C. Shekhar. He is my father's cousin. And he started the school because in Mylapore, there were no good school for middle class people. So he made it a point to start a school where the fees should be less. Even today, the fees of PS Senior Secondary School in Mylapore is the lowest compared to all the CBSE schools, the good standards. And he was very particular about discipline. And because it was co-ed school, he was very particular that all the children follow the discipline and all the moral values. So all the teachers, all the students respected the teachers. They were quite obedient. First, when the school started, majority of the children were from Brahmin community only. And afterwards, all the children Okay, nowadays it's a mixture of all the people. Many North Indians and people from different parts of India are coming. There are a lot of people, and even teachers. Some North Indian teachers, South Indian, from some Karnataka, from some other places like that. Many teachers are there, and here we lay more on discipline and regularity of work. That's why we had the system of assignment, and all the children, those who get 60% and above, they are given a certificate throughout all the exams, all the unit test everywhere. 60% if they maintain, they are given some certificates. So like that, lot of encouragement is given.
It's very interesting. When was the school started?
Yeah, started I think in 73. 73 or 70, I think 76 it was started, because at the time I was in Shankara. Our principal, Mrs. Armilu, she's an excellent lady. Nice planning. She used to plan each and every minute. Everything went according to her planning. For example, speech day. Hindi play 5 minutes. Tamil play 10 minutes. Prize distribution should take only 10 minutes depending on the number of students. So they say all the children should be asked to stand in a line so that there should not be any gap at all. So like that, she will plan each and every minute. And actually it worked very well. Everybody was astonished how she plans like that. It went like that, and so we learned a lot of planning from her. And she was a very good administrator, and she encouraged the teachers like anything. She'll always appreciate the teachers, appreciate the students when they do some good work. So it is because of her only PS has got such a good name.
We tend to have more lady teachers than male teachers. Does it offer a certain kind of advantage, or what is the role of a male or a female as a teacher? How does it help students?
Female teachers are by nature very patient, and we have the motherly instinct. So the children, we treat them as our own children. So naturally there will be more of love than male teachers. And ladies are by nature, they are very tolerant. Male teachers, they won't have so much of patience to listen to the children. And some male teachers may have the tendency to punish the children harshly, whereas a female teacher never punishes them harshly. Slight punishment may be there, some fine may be there, but we don't give any harsh punishment to the children, nor do we scold them. Lady teachers will think twice before scolding. That is one advantage. And they don't want to scold the children much, because that motherly affection is always there. And by nature, they are tolerant also.
I mean, when you were teaching, what was the most important thing that you wanted to impart to your children?
First is obedience. First day itself I tell them, I am the teacher, you are a student. Even now, when I'm taking private tuitions, I tell the children, I am not your auntie or anything. I am only your teacher, you are my student. So, first is obedience. Second is honesty and sincerity. Honesty in the sense, suppose I give you homework and you don't do the homework, you must come and tell me what prevented you from doing the homework. Whatever be the reason. Most important reason will be they forget. So you should come and tell me, ma'am, I forgot. Don't tell lies. Just say whatever be the reason. I don't mind, but you must honestly tell the real reason why you didn't do. If you forget, doesn't matter. Next day you can do. Or if you have gone out somewhere, doesn't matter. You can do next year. But I don't want you to tell lies. So my children never tell lies. They do their homework regularly. Once or twice when they miss, they come and tell me the correct reason, and I appreciate them. And next is punctuality. I'm very, very particular about punctuality, because if you are not if you don't follow punctuality in future, when you grow up, you will never value the time, and time is very, very important. And unless you value the time, all those who are working under you will not value the time. So in whatever post you may be, if you ask some meeting to be held at 5 o'clock, means you should be there by 4:50. So even now, my children follow, all of them follow exact time. And believe it or not, 9 o'clock my doorbell will ring. My neighbors ask, how is it they are so exactly they come at 9? I tell them, I trained them. I have told them to come. And if they come even 5 minutes late, I won't repeat whatever has been done in that period. I told them it is your mistake. So nobody wants to miss even 5 minutes. So they are all very punctual. They come on time. Regularity is very very important. Homework, giving homework, doing the homework regularly, reading, and especially in languages and all. If you don't read and write regularly, you can't learn new words and all. So regularity, emphasis on regularity, and neat handwriting, neat work.
I mean, you were also mentioning that you have some children who are poor. You have
Yeah,
some children who come from broken families.
correct.
How do you handle these children when they repeatedly do not do their homework, or when they repeatedly do not have the environment in which they can
Mm.
perform?
Yeah. First of all, I talk to them very, very softly, and I always shower more love on them compared to others. And then I
Hmm.
tell them, you can do it. This time you are not done. Doesn't matter. Tomorrow you should do it. And sometimes I ask the children to come to my house and do the homework because they may not find
Mhm.
time to do it at home. So I tell them, okay,
Mm.
you come 1 hour early, you come here, do the homework, and then do. Sometimes they may not have even breakfast. So I tell them, okay, doesn't matter. You come to my house, I will give you breakfast. You can eat breakfast here, and then you can do the work here. But
Mm.
I never tell them that I'm giving you because you can't. Tomorrow, I have got a good news for you. Tomorrow I'm going to supply breakfast for all of you. Like that I say, and then I give the breakfast.
Mm.
So nobody will
Mm.
feel that I'm giving them as a special thing or because they
Mhm.
are poor.
I mean, this must have taken a big toll on your family also. Like you have two children. So how did you
Yeah,
manage your work and your personal life?
it's really difficult, especially when I was coming from Nanganallur. It would take
Mm.
1.5 hours for me to reach school and again 1.5 hours to go back home. 3 hours I
Mm.
used to spend while traveling. It was very
Mm.
difficult. At that time, I never had any private tuition or anything.
Mhm.
Only I had to go to school and come back, that's all. But
Mm.
after I came to Mylapore, it was very easy for me. And when I came to Mylapore, I started taking tuitions for a few students who were poor as well as who had some difficulty in learning. So I used to call them home. I never collected any money for that. Used to tell them, Saturday, Sunday, you come. And
Mm.
whenever my children have to go to some class, whether it may be music class or any other class, at that time I will have the tuition at home so that
Mm.
I don't miss my children as well as I can help other children also. And sometimes I used to tell my children that some children need some extra help. So Saturday 1 hour or Saturday or Sunday 1 hour I'm going to spare time for them.
Mm.
They will be very happy. They said, yes, Amma, we should do that. And sometimes
Mm.
they will also help in case it is a case of primary children. So like that, my family supported me. Even my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they always allowed to take any extra thing. They said, yes, you must do all these things. We should
Mm.
educate the children. I manage.
I
And
think.
after retirement, of course, and after my husband's death, I'm all alone. I've got
Mm.
all the time of the world. So I can
Mm.
manage very well. I can call them at any time. Some children come at night, 8 o'clock also they come. I said, doesn't matter. When you
Mm.
don't have time, you come at 8 o'clock. So now I have got plenty of time and no other much responsibility.
Very nice. So even at this age, if you're working, then you must have a lot of reserve energy. How do you manage your energy levels during the day?
Yeah, from the very beginning, no, my mother always used to say, afternoon, don't sleep. If I feel
Mm.
sleepy, she said, okay, come, I'll teach you some new embroidery thing. I'll teach you this stitching. You do this.
Mm.
So she never allowed us to sleep in the afternoon. And that is one of the advantage. Even at this age, I don't sleep in the afternoon. So I
Mm-hmm.
find plenty of time. And and my mother always used to say, finish your work as early as possible. Don't be in the kitchen whole day. Finish your
Mm.
work. You have to be very fast in doing the work. So even today, I'm very fast in doing all the work. Other thing is, see, I had to be very fast because I was in Nanganallur and I was working in Adayar. Early
Mm.
morning, we have to get up, cook for everybody, look after my children, dress them up, and take the children with me. So unless I'm fast in doing the work, I can't manage. I had the habit of doing all the work very fast. Even now, my son says, "You are the fastest, ma. I don't think anybody will be as fast as me." I said, "Because of you, because of that fastness only, I was able to manage you. Otherwise, they'll miss
Mm.
the train, miss the bus." And I had the support of my father-in-law, mother-in-law throughout. And so anything is unfinished, they say, okay, go, I'll manage. So it is not that I have to finish all the things and go. And I need not lock the house, all these things, because they were there. So it's the support of father-in-law, mother-in-law that enabled me to continue my job successfully. Nowadays children, they don't want, nowadays girls, they don't want joint family at all. How much advantage it is to be in a joint family, and I'm really lucky that I had all the advantages of joint family.
How it had helped you actually, and how it
Yeah.
helped your family, maybe your children?
Mm. First of all, when I went to school, my father-in-law and mother-in-law only looked after my children, and I'm really very grateful to them. And then my mother-in-law was so supportive that she never asked me to take leave for any of the functions, any of the puja. Suppose it's a working day and there is some puja at home, she will say, it's a working day, doesn't matter. You get up early, finish the puja, and then go. So like that, she never asked me to take leave for any uh, personal matter, personal function or anything. Job also, and I manage at home also, because they were
Yeah.
very cooperative.
Can you tell me something about your students who are who've been successful and who come back to you after all these years and tell you that you have been an inspiration?
First is, I should say, Colonel Vembu Shankar. He was my student in school, and he was in Scouts and Guides. I was also I was taking guide classes, Scouts and Guides classes. We used to take them to camp and all. So we spent a lot of time in scouting and guiding. And he was the best scout. And he went up to the level of Rashtrapati Puraskar, and then he went to Japan also for some training. He did very well. In sixth standard, one day he came and told me, I want to join, and he was very clear about his future plans. He said, I want to join army. I was very happy. Yeah. So I used to encourage him, and then we used to have annual function drama, Hindi drama, and most of my Hindi dramas were based on patriotism, national unity, all these things. So when we write the script and all, no, the children were so impressed. They said, we also want to do something for our country. We want to do for our country. We want to serve the country. Like that, they all will be showing their interest towards the country and all. He did NDA and then some other course, and he joined army. And within 1 year, the Kargil was there, 1999. Kargil war, he killed about 7 militants, and he got the Shaurya Chakra award. Of course, I didn't know anything because he passed 12th standard. I also left PS and went to Bombay. So I knew he has joined army, that's all. I didn't know anything about him after that, what happened. He got the award, that also I was not aware. And then after 20 years, in 2016, he contacted me. He contacted my son, and then he contacted me, and then he told me, ma'am, I am in Panchgani, Madhya Pradesh. Panchgani is the scouting center also. So it's a beautiful place. Why don't you come? But at that time, I had some leg problem, knee problem. So I was not ready to go out. I said, I didn't go. Again, next year he called me and told me, you are not, every time I'm calling you, you are not coming. I said, no, it's not like that. I'm afraid of these things. He said, no, ma'am, you come, I'll take care. I said, okay, I'll come. And at the time, he was in Darjeeling, posted in Bagdogra, Darjeeling. And I spent 2 days in Darjeeling. He came to the station, took us to the place, and he has arranged the place for staying. He took every day to different places. He showed full of Darjeeling. We went to Gangtok, and then we arranged all these things. And the way he treated us, I was really surprised. Even the nowadays modern sons also won't do so much for the mothers. Took care of us like anything. I took one of my friends also with me. Most exciting part was next year he was called as a chief guest in the PS Senior Secondary School. He sent a message that I have been invited to be the guest of honor in the PS Senior Secondary School annual day. I said I'll definitely come and attend. So I attended that. I didn't know about his plans or anything. Suddenly he went to the stage, he told about his school life, and suddenly he said, for everybody, 3 people are very, very important in life. In my life, they are the 3 pillars. One is parents, second one is you should have a real friend, true friend, and the teachers. And then he named his father. He didn't have a mother. So he said, my father, my friend, he announced the name of his friend, And then for teacher, he announced my name. I was so surprised, so nervous. I asked him, what made you say so? Then he said, ma'am, you only inspired me. All throughout my life, I have been following whatever you taught. And he's so grateful to me. Then I realized even a small talk, even a small example, even a small word of appreciation, it goes a long way to the children. And after 20 years, 25 years, they remember and come and tell me, adore me. Then I feel how nice the teaching life is. And especially after this, after the retirement, so many children come. Now only I realize how I never realized this when I was working. That after 20
Mm-hmm.
years, the children will remember me. And I never felt anything special about my teaching. Now only I oh, that each and every word of the teacher is being helpful to the students. And I'm
Hmm.
really grateful to all the students.
So, what was your advice for the modern day teachers, ma'am?
Modern day teachers, one is try to understand the children, their ability, their talent, and whenever you find the talent in the children, please try to develop that talent instead of forcing them to take some other subjects or other field. Whatever they
Hmm.
are good in that, try to develop them. That is very, very
Hmm.
important. Kind and sincere person means mostly kindness and love. It is the love that makes all the difference.
Yes.
You love the children, children will love you.
You've made the journey of many lives valuable not only to them, and I think valuable for the people around them and the society in general. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a pleasure talking to you and understanding you as a teacher. And I'm sure even for a common man or a common woman, you've given a lot of points, lot of valid points, valuable points for one's life. And
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
It is imperative that to have a better tomorrow, the children of today be provided with value based education which inspires and excites them. Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. And if people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me, said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, India's ex president. And I'm sure that this is true of Geetha, our today's guest. It's not often that we come across such inspiring teachers whom their students never forget and also to whom we as a society are thankful and grateful. There are so many ways to get to one's destination, but only a wise teacher can show the right path to do that. I'm really thankful to Geetha for being such an amazing guiding light. Salutations to the inspirers in our lives. Thank you so much for listening in. I look forward to receiving your comments on how you like this conversation and if you found it inspiring. I'm also glad to receive any questions you would like me to ask our next guest. Do write to me at wom21c@gmail.com. WOEM21c@gmail.com. Bye until the next time and take care.